FALCON, right?
Just if you want FALCON Esports.
FALCON Esports, third, or FCON. I like
FCON.
FCON. FCON sounds
FCON sounds like
Dangerous. It sounds
yeah, it sounds dangerous.
Sounds like danger.
danger. All right.
Hey, well for XYG? I'm gonna go back to the point and why I'm rooting for them in this match here is the fact that this is a up-and-coming region still. We talked about this back in M5. It's great to see the improvement. I mean, consider the fact that they even had a good game. Game number 2 was against Falcon's AP Brand. So, you know, with the addition of Kill VJ, I think coming in here also rounds this lineup out pretty well. And I hope that they took what Mirko likes to say. They didn't get an L. Oh, well, they did have an L, but it's not a loss. It's a learn. A learning experience. Sounds something like Mirko would say, right?
Yeah, that's definitely
Wolf,
Mirko.
in this BO2 format, you don't get a lot of chances to learn.
Yeah, you get. It's you should have done it before the actual match.
So I said it's like cramming, basically.
Exactly. So there is the Roger. Very natural first pick here. I don't know if FCON is interested getting the Ling as it is available right now, but typically how you answer with the Roger is the Moskov as well as the Ling.
Yep.
We have learned, though, that teams are now starting to get the Claude when you're going up against this Roger. So that may be another option here. Definitely for Long, he likes the Moskov better. So this could be Moskov Edith.
I think you go Moskov.
Yeah, or Moskov Valentina for XYG.
Yeah, Valentina's open, Moskov. I think those are the right choices. So far, are we just going to assume, too, that the Roger is going to go into the gold lane, or will it go into the jungle?
Always.
Are they just playing with the flex?
Yeah, it's always flex. That's the reason why
Roger
the stock for emphasis is...
That's a little too flex.
Too flex.
Too flex.
Too much. Too much.
The stock for the Roger has been increasing very highly. There it is, the Moskov Edith. As expected, now FCON, there are two choices here. They can go for Valentina so that they can copy the Edith, or they can go Farsa, which we know has been working so well against marksmen in general and the meta game in general.
But what? Okay.
But they go Faramis.
What?
Ooh, I did not notice. But this is going to be a problem because eventually the Valentina will be picked up. But XYG says, nah, we don't need that. We
So
need
they just
the
ban it
first. Exactly.
They could just ban it.
Yep.
What do you think about the Fredrin pickup on the third pick? I mean, like, it could be very crucial to the draft. That's why they pick it up instantly. But it's one of those heroes that we see get through every now and then. So I don't know. What do you feel about this?
I feel first of all, I don't like it because there's already Ruby and Faramis, which we don't know. We know that will be a problem for the Fredrin. Fredrin's great versus the Roger in a way, in many ways. However, because this is picked up, now you can ban out the Valentina, which in this case now, yeah, surely you have secured your jungler, but you may not have the best mid laner that can match up against this Faramis. So overall, I don't like it, but I feel that this is XYG just getting back to their comfort.
I feel like E1 wants the Vexana.
Yeah, could be. Vexana Novaria is used against the Faramis. Great combo with the Moskov, the Moskovaria. Nope.
What if they just ban out the Vexana for that last ban from FCON, though?
Most likely.
Falcons will probably do that.
Yeah, probably.
Because if they got their hands on the Vexana, there's so much crowd control, especially with the Edith already locked in. So your crowd control overloaded.
Yeah. And
yeah, I don't know. I'm expecting that to be the last ban from FCON.
Yeah. Could be a Vexana. Yep, like I said, the Novaria is also a high consideration, especially you're going for the Fredrin anyways. You have that front line. Edith is a hero that can be played in the EXP lane as well as the roam role. And playing the Edith in the EXP lane kind of gives a lot more reward for XYG just because you can clear out all of those extra shields, extra HP from the Faramis. And I believe this is a no-ban situation from XYG.
Is that...
Yeah, because now it's FCON's turn.
Yeah, I think at this point, you don't want to contest this.
Unless you ban Natalia or Helker.
Oh yeah, which
yeah. It makes sense. Natalia, Helker, like you don't see them.
You don't see them.
You don't see them. Like they're there, but they're not there at the same time.
The last team that did this won an M5 championship. So.
I was gonna say we've actually seen this before, right? And where it came to success.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we see the same thing from XYG.
It's like, oh, you want to open? We can.
We'll open one too.
We can play that game.
Oh,
the Freya.
The Freya.
This is just FALCON Esports covering all of their bases. XYG is weird in a way that they were forced to kind of play the Freya in the EXP lane because of the lack of the heroes that's there. Because when it comes to hero selections, they're not that updated. That's understandable. It is going to be the Yu Zhang, perfect versus the Roger, decent versus the Faramis, but now you reveal that this Edith is the Rome. And typically you answer that with a Teresa, but it's not available. Maybe you go... go CC.
CC.
So Ruby Rome.
Yeah, Ruby Rome, perhaps. Or maybe a Ruby Gold, CC in the XP. Yeah, Ruby Gold.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be the Florin. Interesting.
A mishmash of different ideas coming in from FCON's draft here, but it's mostly about staying alive as long as you can. You got a Ruby, you got a CC, you got a Florin, you got a Faramis.
There's so much. Yeah, that's so much.
It's like, we'll die, but eventually.
But
Tomorrow
we'll also be healed. Truly.
Yeah, truly. So we will die, but like maybe tomorrow or something.
Yeah, you need a confirmed kill here, like a Farsa, for example. Novaria can be a hero for XYG, but that means that they will go very late into the
Vex?
late game. The Vexana is also good, but it's not like a confirmed kill. It's more of a bruiser. But then you have the Moscow to kind of finish the kill. Yeah, but Vex is the easiest route, I would say. There it is.
There it is. Yep. Makes sense because you already have Yu Zhang and Edith.
Yeah.
So lock that in. Fred can do his thing, you know, and you're playing around the fact that you can extend the fights. Well, we'll go ahead and just crowd control you.
And now the draft is over. We got a draft coming in from XYG. Do they have enough damage? And we got a draft coming in from Falcons. It looks like they won't ever die. And with that, we're passing it over to our casters. Leo and Gideon, take it away.
And away we shall into the Land of Dawn for the first matchup of today. The final day of group stages here at MSC 2024 at EWC. Leo and Gideon Q at your service. For the first time, there is a no ban in MSC.
Yeah, no, this is rather interesting. But then again, it doesn't mean like it's a bad thing. I think that right now, XYG, their draft, at the very least, their advantages is when it comes down to wave clearing. So that means they get to move first.
And they get to clean up the map, make some space for Long, the international marksman. But what this affords for Falcon Esports, the pride of the Burmese, is a very comfortable yet unorthodox lineup. It's very Myanmar. It's very 1-3-1. It's the first time I've seen this in a while.
Yeah, no, honestly, even Malaysia, Indonesia, everybody has got a little bit of a taste of this Ruby Gold lane. And generally, you're just trying to smother your opponent, right? As long as you clear these waves faster, I don't think Lung can win out these trades against the Ruby as long as they are minions.
And Falcon Esports, what they want to do is play the Predator. They got to be aggressive with a capital A. Looking at the loadouts here, Warcry on Dax's Roger, which I expect to be ahead of Zed's Fredrin. Again, a big head scratcher why the Fredrin came in so early, but then again, we reckon it might be down to comfort.
Yeah, I think it does come down to comfort. And I think, you know, they still need a brick wall at the end of the day, right? Having two brick walls with Godyang on this Edith as well as the Fredrin isn't a bad idea. I think the main issue right now is how does XYG start getting a lead? Because once they start getting ahead and invade the enemy jungle, I think Dax is going to have a much harder time to scale to a relevant state.
Which is made possible by Zed and Godyang's rotation. Again, even through the first wave of buffs, that's what they've been doing. Usually you see a roamer go with a gold laner, but then again, this Long we're talking about, you have to go with the less than favorable matchup. KelVJ getting a few beads on him by Dax. Godyang very close. Watching out. Something to note, KelVJ, this is specialty Yu Zhang as well. We've seen him do well with this hero all throughout their season while they were playing in the China qualifiers.
I mean, right now, they're trying to bait out emotion from the side of Falcon Esports, right? I think Dax has wasted way too much time up on the top side of the map, and in the meantime, on the bottom side, Zed, he's able to get like 2 camps up on him.
And now he's making the long rotation. That's Godyang still checking in, trying to hit level 4. Dax with the pull on the turtle. Not going to commit just yet. Level 4 yet to be reached by our XP laner, Zed, now wailing away.
Yep, this should be a free turtle for the side of XYG. I don't think they're going to contest it at all. And Black Dragon form just to find absolutely nothing here. This is definitely a set play from XYG's side. They're not going to find anything, but still, a free neutral is a free neutral.
And what this does for XYG is put them up about 500 gold. When are we going to see the rubber band effect from Falcon Esports? Because again, if you guys caught the Stream B broadcast of C9 versus Falcon Esports in our opening day, I think they played a very similar tempo. We're just waiting for when. It's not if. not if they could, but when they will, especially since they want to smother XYG. When are we going to see that, Gideon? When do you think that'll come in? Are we waiting for second turtle, third turtle, maybe even when a Lord comes up?
Okay, personally for me, I think that if the momentum, as of right now, there's slight momentum for the side of XYG. If that momentum continues and starts to like 2x itself, second and third turtle might be tough. If you go for the stereotypical way of how Falcons esports usually contest, I would say second turtle, there'll be a bit of recon that needs to be done. And then afterwards, I'm expecting the 12th minute for them to really start to pop off.
And sounds like a slow takeoff. They got to work on that, maybe spread their wings a little further, because that's what this lineup is made up for. They're made to be aggressive, and now that we see that they've all reached level 4, we know that there's a Bloom. We know that Royal Milk might have his first item. And I think that's one of the weaknesses that this lineup has, since we are seeing Benny on a gold lane Ruby. Usually Benny is your late game finisher. He's your insurance policy, as we like to call. But now that he's more of a fighter, I don't know if that's going to happen here. XYG looking to capitalize on this early advantage. 4-man rotation down bottom. Kid X sandwiched. Benny just doing his darndest to get some farm in.
Yeah, I think at this point, XYG are doing a really good job. I mean, Kid X, he's got flickers, so don't worry. As long as he gets out of the energy eruption, he's totally fine. But just the rotations, right? They're trying to make sure that Dax is on his toes when it comes down to these camp timers. Previously, he ran down to the bottom side to pick up that orange buff. And Zed, he had already rotated to steal 1 camp, so he already had a rough idea of what that timer was going to be.
Grand Theft Orange. Falcon Esports looking like a wet blanket. That's what their lineup is. Again, they're meant to smother.
Yeah.
All this while, XIANYOU Gaming is a brick house.
Yeah.
Running through you, going from objective to objective. Now they're going for their second turtle. And again, it looks like Dax. He's a baby werewolf. Like, he can't really do much. Here comes KLVJ.
It's just not worth it. I think KLVJ can actually go really push the tempo, but I think XYG, as of right now, we're going to take the free neutral. No need to actually put ourselves at risk at this point of time, because if we're talking about leads, Zed already has the lead onto Dax, a full level ahead. KLVJ is doing a pretty good job against Royal Milk so far, but most importantly, Lung is starting to get ahead of Benny. He's 2 levels up on him.
That's right. The international marksman building it up, mewing to Lux Max very soon. I wonder what the items are. Here we go. Let's check in. 500 gold. Between Zed and Dax. Now a fight down bottom. Okay. We can breathe easy. Yeah, an item on Long here. First up, Corrosion Scythe.
Yep, he just wants to peel back, right? He knows that it's going to be really difficult to kill Benny at the end of the day. And I have to agree with him. It's just not worth the time and effort. You might as well play to scale anyways, because your comp is going to be stronger towards the later sections. But even for Falcon Esports, we're not finding these like lane advantages that they can exploit.
Fight up.
Kid X, he's going to get hit by the energy eruption here. They should be able to walk out for free, but PX7 might have something to say about this. But so far, Falcon Esports, I was expecting PX7 to be the main driving force here, but it looks like E1, with the help of GAME1, is making sure that he's stuck in this lane. Look at that. Every single time, 3, 4 people show up to just clear 1 wave.
I get it, because again, Falcon Esports, yes, I agree. PX7 should be that initiator, the catalyst to their aggression, but he just has but 1 lifeline, Gideon. He just has to purify. Going up against XYG, who has killed VJ for CC. Even E1 has CC. Long has CC. God, yeah. They all have CC.
I mean, they gotta unlock somebody out of their lanes right now, because I think they're playing too independently of each other. Like, at least for Kid X, his job is the easiest. Just sit back, don't die, relax, get ready to press your ult when it's necessary. You'll eventually scale to the later stages of the game.
But you also have to consider, here we go, the pull. God Yang at half health. Okay, that's a non-starter.
Okay, I mean, they didn't even get a battle spell, which is kind of unfortunate, but hey, wait a minute, PX7 is getting chunked out in the middle of the turret, had to use his Purify anyways, and finally a lead for XYGs to get into the mix with Royal Milk taking a brunt of that damage. Now even GAME1 coming up with the ult as well. KLVJ finally getting into the mix, doesn't really get anything off of this. Great vengeance coming in from Royal Milk to stay alive.
Looks like a lot of cardio. Not much action, really. They were jogging in place. Half health on a majority of XYG. First turtle looking great for Falcon. There's the pull.
He's already found it. Zed, he's in trouble. Doesn't even get the ult off in time. First blood achieved as Lung finally takes the trade onto Bax, but Benny is still too strong in the earlier stages of the game, able to deal with Lung by himself. As long as there's members, there is plenty of options to sustain. Does he find the kill onto Lung? We cut away, but no. Lung's still alive at 1 HP.
Oh, Kid X Esports looking to get sneaky. I wonder if he knows the flicker in, the stun, and the basic. He does, Gideon. He does.
He's aware, and he's even gonna help Royal Milk dive KLVJ underneath the turret with a mid-tier 1 in the pocket as well. FALCON Esports cracked this game wide open.
Swooping down the Burmese bite back. We were looking for it. We were waiting for it. 8 minutes. That's when it snaps. The final turtle seems to be the final straw. I bet all the Burmese watching are like, come on, they're sweating. Like, when? Your roster, your lineup is made to be aggressive. And now down bottom.
They're going to look for this tier 1, right? I mean, that's the speed up we expect from FALCON. I was saying 12 minutes because I was expecting XIANYOU Gaming to really take their time with this, right? They could have slowed down that fight, but I think, you know, they got over eager once Lung got into the mix, knowing that he's like a full level ahead of Benny. Now that it's equal, Royal Milk now in some trouble. That Vengeance finally going to time out. Looks like PX7 unable to bail him out of there just then.
Yep, I'd say PX7 was maybe 3 seconds worth of distance away, so it wasn't going to happen regardless. Looking at the item game here, PX7 up by about 1,000 away from Yi1. Also a huge gap between KLVJ and Royal Milk, despite Royal Milk going down as well. A lot of pundits, a lot of critics of FALCON Esports will say Royal Milk is the weak link. Royal Milk is the Achilles heel of FALCON Esports. But now he seems to be one of the anchors. He seems to have taken the time to really like say, hey guys, I'm over here. The rest of my team are farming in the other lanes. Come on over, come on over.
I mean, he's an instigator, don't get me wrong, right? I think that, you know, if we're talking about the big hitters, it's definitely PX7 on this farmers. He definitely has heroes that he really shines on, right? If there's bronze, silver, and gold, he's platinum, man. He's above it all.
He's platinum Faramis.
He's platinum Faramis. It's disgusting. But that's only because Royal Milk is able to kind of initiate and absorb that damage.
Exactly. Those are the words from ST14, and Edwards said very low.
He's so low. He's going to get hit by the Lightning Pass. Even the Retribution saved by the Eternal Guard, forced to get on out of there as they peel backwards to try and make something happen. But a great pull. I'm offended. But wait, hold on. They're turning it around. Long is able to find the pin 2 times and even gets PX7. It's a 4-0 trade in favor of XYG.
There's only so much a lone Florin can do. She can heal you. She can get heals in without any detriments, but no, not with the amount of damage that Long has put out, as well as the counter CC, the initiation by KLVJ, and the rest of XYG. Look at that. Oh, also an aggressive flicker in. XYG, they're aware, they know of the dynamics. Who's the beatdown?
Exactly, right? The target priority is pretty good, but also at the same time, Long had a great eye for opportunity. He found the initial knockback. Actually, it happened twice in that fight. The initial knockback happened here in this part of the map, right in the middle.
And then as they, you know, rolled back a bit and then pushed forward again.
They're stretching them like dough.
Amazing. The back and forth really rocked FALCON Esports there, and that led to XYG being up by about 2,000. And the international marksman doing work, clearing up that top lane. Now, the tier 2 in mid in jeopardy as well. How do they defend? FALCON Esports is the first time they've actually been on the back foot. I mean, the early game is one thing, but now XYG's knocking down your base.
Well, let's see here whether they lose an inhibitor. Benny's going to get hit by the Eternal Guard, but he's fine. He can sustain through all of the damage as long as there are waves. Unfortunately for XYG, they don't have a clear way to initiate without their battle spells, and it doesn't help that their sieging isn't that great without the Black Dragon form.
Yep, 2 minutes until the next turtle comes up. 2,500 gold ahead. Chinese squad are over the Burmese. Look at the damage that Long is putting down. This is dangerous what he's doing. There's a knock-up.
He's confident. He wants to get more into the mix, but he's kind of slowed down thanks to Royal Milk. Regardless, they still get all the tier 2 turrets from FALCON Esports, and this is what we were expecting from XYG. When they find the opportunity, they're going to start from your tier 1s all the way to your inhibitors.
They are thorough. They are procedural, and maybe they can work on their precision, but hey, if you're playing with a sledgehammer lineup like this, a comp that just relies on Long, I mean, almost single-handedly Long, and then maybe a little bit of a Yi1 on the step back, then yeah, definitely. There's a lot that FALCON Esports need to work on here. I wonder now how they can fight outside the base, because again, the under turret punish is good on Benny, right? It's perfect.
Yep.
But when they meet up here in these little, let's check. All right, when they meet up in these little alleyways, these little corridors outside their base, do they have enough firepower? Can they close the gap here?
I think, all right, so their firepower is very conditional, right? Their firepower is if they can get XYG to clump up really close together so they get the multiplier.
With the bursters.
With the bursters, right, from PX7. I mean, that's not all. Obviously, it's going to be very helpful for, like, Benny, of course. And, well, Royal Milk can definitely slow two people down. Oh, the I'm offended comes through, but Lung, he's going to get hit by the initial snare. They pull away, and Lung tries his best. Oh, Spirit Destruction off towards Dax's side. He might be able to win this 1v1, even with the heal coming in from Florin. It might just be too much. He's out of position, tries to regroup with the rest of his team, but it's too late. The Netherrealm is not going to let him find it. KLBJ trying to turn it around as E1 is out of position. Forced to walk back into the Y brush. God Yang can really take his time. Benny is sustaining through so much pain. And even for VX7, he's just waiting to slowly encroach upon their positions. It's now they're all running away. There's nothing that they can do as they get picked off one by one.
The slow march by FALCON Esports allowed for two I'm offendeds to go off cooldown and can continue the assault. 8-6 now. Another swing of the pendulum towards the Burmese. Now up by 1,000. They're looking for a penetration. I think they're going to get it.
Yeah, they're going to get this. Dude, hello? Hello? Why are we not taking out free inhibitors here as the Eternal Guard comes down, forcing the rest of FCON to start taking away tier 2s? No.
SOD.
He wouldn't.
He wouldn't. There's
He's
a retribution.
I mean, there's retribution, and also the last time he tried to 1v1, it didn't go well because of Kid X.
All right, good rewind. Let's go back maybe 20, 30 seconds. A nanosecond of hesitation, of speculation on Long. I'm not so sure if Moskov mains will question me on this when I say maybe Long could have leaned hard on that engage. Maybe that would have won him the fight against Dax and would have killed Dax even before this all went down.
I don't think so. I think that the heal coming in from Kid X was just a little too big, right? I think if you take out the heal, 100% he kills him there, right? I think the only other advantage he could find is if he decided to switch out that Purify for maybe an Inspire.
Maybe it would have ended the fight almost single-handedly. But that would make him more vulnerable. Now, the Lord jumping in, crashing through that top inhibitor. A big I'm offended!
Finds two into the Eternal Guard, and then straight away into the Netherrealm to try and peel some time. With the Lord already knocking at their base, they should be able to get one more inhibitor before they try and close things out. But that's a lot of resources, and a dead jungler, and a knockback of a lifetime! Lung, this is why he's the international marksman, turns it around single-handedly.
God Yang with a God mode, Earth Shatter, and they equalize. XYG, almost a single finger. SOD to the back!
He wants to go for more. He's already locked down, but it looks like he bit off more than he could chew. That's going to be a 2-for-2 trade at the very end of it. But man, I'm telling you, this fleeting time on Kid X, the heals with his ult, and KLVJ, hello? He's going to make it out. He's not going to make it out of this.
He's not going to make it out of this.
No, not when CC gets the ult back up. Zed is already here to start peeling them off. Eternal Guard actually towards PX7's side, forcing the Netherrealm to come on out. Target acquisition looking a little disorientated from XYG.
I get it. It's sensory overload. FALCON Esports are doing so much on so many different fronts. The Lord, that push in mid, up top, a fight on many different angles coming in, especially now that the lead is the biggest it's ever been. A quick look once more on the attempted clapback. They don't even get PX7, because again, they didn't know that the cooldown off of the Netherrealm would have been done by then. And now, 5K, approaching 5K. FALCON Esports is, after a punish in mid, they win a fight down bottom. I think FALCON Esports are approaching their power spike right now. This is wherein, even if God Yang gets a good CC on 2 or 3, FALCON Esports, their right-click potential, their auto attacks are just going to get so much better from now on.
I mean, they're going to have a lot of value in this, right? That's why FALCON Esports have to be very precise, right? They got to drop pod in at the right time and catch as many of the right people. And ideally, that would be Lung +1. And that could be anybody, really. And I think that if they're going to find Lung, he's going to have to make a mistake, because I think that XYG can really take their time with a lot of these plays. But maybe the decision-making when it comes to those moment-to-moment, like even the replay we saw earlier, right? There was a good opportunity for Zed to actually lock down PX7 to guarantee the kill.
But then again, PX7 is sitting clean and pretty on a Purify. So I think that's something that XIANYOU Gaming have to think about when they make these big engages. They sense it, they hear it. The Lord is being worked on, approaching a third of its health. Zed up in the front lines, Long keeping his distance.
I mean, they got to walk up here, right? I mean, the waves may not necessarily be in their favor, but I think for FALCON Esports, they can really just let it go back and forth. They got to reset it fully, though.
Not a good look. Not for XYG. Here we go. I'm offended.
He comes on forward, pulls Zed backwards, hit by the Earth Shatter, onwards as well, locked 2, and now the back line. Royal Milk has already found Zed, but with the Vengeance, he's able to tank a little bit longer than he should. It's the help of the Netherrealm. They're falling into this choke point mistake once more. They've learned it, but the damage has been done.
And now it's back to regular programming as FALCON Esports gonna go for this Lord unhindered, unbothered. Yi1 in the back, Long as well. Their retribution by Dax.
We're seeing the difference here. Long is going to try and 1v4 this, but I mean, look at that. PX7 single-handedly just blowing them up. GAME1 does find the trade backwards on towards it, but man, they gotta be super. No, Dax, he's in some trouble. KidX might have to sacrifice his life in favor for Dax, but he's gonna stay nearby, get the heals down, try to turn it around, get him low enough, look for the opportunity, and Dax finds it. Netherrealm to ensure that this Primal Wrath is worthless. GAME1 should be going down, and now with a exposed crystal, FCON looking to close things out.
They smell the blood in the water as they go in. Zed at half health. The Black Dagger from a kill. VJ.
It's done. It's over. They've cracked open the crystal. These fights, they need to be decisive. And it's not even about the macro decision making. It's about target acquisition.
I agree.